people are brand loyalists. So they're always buying from the same brand. Like if they're buying baby wipes or they're buying like a supplement, they're going to buy from the same brand. And then like 30% of people are not brand loyalists, or no, maybe 20% of people are not brand loyalists, but they'll look at other brands. Like they have a brand that they really like, but then they'll kind of look at other brands. And then like 20 or like the other 30% is they'll just buy anything that's good. It's original clothing brand a good option for online market? Clothing is, in my opinion, a terrible market to go into unless you're really good at creating new designs. So I used to own a clothing brand and I just discontinued it. It was profitable. We had done over 6 figures in revenue profitably, but clothing sucks. Like, because I'm not a designer. So unless you are creating your own, what they call tech packs, a tech pack is essentially your own unique design. You're always following the trend. So I had like a women's clothing, fitness clothing business. And you're launching designs that the big companies, the Nikes, the Lulus, the Gymsharks, the Alpha Elites, that they've all already created. So there's not much differentiation there outside of your marketing. Now, if you're a designer, then you can make clothing work probably a lot easier. Now, I would never sell clothing on Amazon. I never listed my clothing brand on Amazon, and I did 6 figures, and that was only on the Shopify store and through social media. Do you know if Amazon allows foam that is pre-molded product cushion for a product? Yeah, you can put foam in a package. How many students do you have in the group total? A little over 350, Tina. It's a very tight-knit community, which is one of the cool things. And it's really funny because I'm super proud of like all the services that I've built for my students. And I've asked 3 students in the last week what their favorite part about the program is. And although they all utilize like listing creation, the shipping service, their favorite part are the weekly coaching calls and our private FB group, Facebook group. They're like, we love the community. We love that the questions are answered so quickly. We love that we get insight from other students and get to hear what they're kind of going through, and it helps us on our journey. So it's a very tight-knit community, and it's a very supportive community as well, which is super cool. Can you talk about ads in the beginning of launching a product in 2 weeks? I'm launching a product in 2 weeks. I have a lot of video, and I'm going to answer your question, Ala, but I have a lot of videos on my TikTok on PPC ad videos. I have like 100 in just one tab on my profile. I have like 100 and something PPC videos, number one. Number two, I follow a very similar structure for all of my products. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that you have to understand how to make proactive optimizations, and I'll explain all of this. So if you launch a product, I'm always launching a product with one broad, one phrase, one exact, one auto campaign, potentially one product targeting campaign. No more than 3 keywords in a campaign, no more than 3 to 5 keywords in a campaign, no more than 1 ad group per campaign. Conservative bids, conservative budgets. Now, in the beginning, you're really testing. So I've seen for myself and other people, that like maybe you launch and phrase match doesn't convert very well for you. Well, that's when now you have to make proactive optimizations. You're not married to having phrase match just to keep that structure. So maybe you get like 70 clicks on your phrase campaign and you're not getting any sales. Well, you don't want to just keep spending until you make other optimizations to your listing, improving your images, getting more reviews, optimizing your price. So then it's now focusing on allocating the budget towards what works and cutting, not forever, but temporarily cutting the things that don't work. Does that make sense? Alex, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate you, bro. How many different products are you currently selling? Do you continue to resource new or restock? Yes, I do. I'm constantly ordering new products. And then I would say every year I'm launching a pretty decent amount of products. Some years are less than others. This year we've launched a lot of products, um, over 10 products this year alone. But yeah, and then products that do good, because I'm launching evergreen products, products that aren't going to just fizzle out. I don't go for trends, I don't go for seasonal products. So when a product does good, then you continue to reorder. I currently sell 50 plus products, including variations. Variations being like, let's say I have a water bottle and then you have a black, red, and green water bottle. So different versions of the same product. Can you give me a tip suggesting on creating something that works in this time? It really comes down to two things: fundamentals, and I'll explain that in a second, and good market numbers. So a mistake that I'll see beginners make is go and launch a product that they like or they think will do well. I literally just got a DM the other day, somebody asking, should I sell screen protectors for the new iPhones? No, you shouldn't. Unless you can come in and I still wouldn't want to launch a product like this, but unless you can come in and make a screen protector that nobody else has ever made before, that's not a market you should go into. The market numbers aren't good. You should launch a product with good average reviews, good average revenue, and you can see all these metrics with a product research software that's tailored to Amazon, a Helium 10, a Jungle Scout, a Data Dive. So good average reviews, good average price, good profitability, low advertising cost per clicks. That is what makes a good product. I mean, I've been doing this for a while, and like a lot of mistakes, a lot of failed products has helped formulate and create the product criteria that I use today. Also, everyone, I see 13 new messages. I'm behind on questions. Keep asking questions. I'm going to answer every single one, but I do really like to give as much information and detail as possible. So bear with you, boy. So the other thing is the fundamentals. The fundamentals being what makes something successful on Amazon: good market numbers, strong differentiation, good profitability, and having a good launch strategy as well. All of those three things are what makes somebody successful on Amazon. Have you ever thought about buying an FBA business? Yes, I have. It's not something that I would have ever done as a beginner, but now, yes. I think that the best part, in my opinion, is access to Luke. Yeah, Patel, it's something that I hear a lot. Is this on my phone or what is this? I think this is on my phone. Did I crack my phone? That's weird. Anyways. Oh no, that's somebody's comment. I was tripping out right there. Yeah, man, I hear that a lot. Access to me and the community are two of people's favorite things. Any thoughts on removing coupons to slow down sales? I think that it's a solid strategy. It's funny, Scott. What's the minimum daily budget for campaigns? $10. Mass, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. ISO, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you as well. What's good, Go? What's up, FBA? The screen should be unbreakable, waterproof, and write note by itself. Yes, I agree. What's your more profitable product you made? For me, I mean, we're profitable on all of our products. We have really good profit margins. I would say this account is the most profitable. That product is in the health and household, or this is a health and household brand. We have really good margins, but we also do really better, or we also have a lot of volume. So it helps us bring our cost of goods down. Is it better than TikTok Shop? Yes, it's better than any marketplace that you can ever think of in existence. eBay, I mean, they own more than 50% of all online market share. So TikTok Shop is cool. And I'm a big fan of it. I think I was more of a big fan of it like last year in 2023, especially when it was first introduced. Like anybody who has an existing brand and you are around since 2023, If you didn't hop on TikTok Shop, you missed a very golden opportunity. They've changed some things recently, but I still think that it's possible. I still see people work with it. Shopify work or better posting directly to eBay? I sell on Amazon, brother. You don't need to sit on TikTok live. I mean, we sell on TikTok Shop, bro, and I only go on live for my personal brand to answer all of your questions. I've never gone live for any of my brands, and we have millions of views for some of our products. How do you calculate how much you bulk reorder based on how good your product is doing? So it's based on something called inventory forecasting. I'll give you a quick math equation. So if I'm selling 10 units a day, there's 30 days in a month, right? On average, I know some months are 31, but you get the point. 30 days in a month. That means I'm selling 300 units a month. Now, we also have to consider lead time. What is lead time? How long it takes for you to order a product for it to arrive at Amazon. So let's say 2-week production, 1 month shipping, 1 or 2 weeks for customs and Amazon check-in time. Okay, 2 months, 60 days. So if I'm selling 300 units a month and my lead time is 60 days, 2 months, that means that I would want at least 600 units in stock for that product based on my daily sales. And then I'd also want to have at least 1 month of cushion inventory as well, because you don't want to like literally place an order and then have to reorder right after. So I would say about 900 units based on 10 units a day. Now, if you don't have the cash flow to do that, you do one of two things. You either A, order as many units as you can, or if you have a good relationship with your manufacturer, establish something called net terms. That's where you're able to pay the invoice date at a later time. Usually, how much hours ideally to do product research a day? So this depends on how you do product research. So like I've made videos, Tina, about how it should take you no more than 1 to 3 minutes to analyze a product. Now, if it takes you 30 minutes to analyze one product, which that's way too long, I'm exaggerating, you're only going to look at 2 products in an hour. But if I can look at a product in 1 to 3 minutes, that means that I'm looking at anywhere from like 20 to 60 products every hour, which makes my volume 10 to 30x. So that's where it comes into it being a number game. The more products that you look at, it's almost like if you're trying to learn like softball or baseball, your very first time up to the plate, maybe you get lucky, but you're most likely going to miss or strike out. But the more at-bats you have, the better you become at it. And it's the same thing with product research. Emas, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying, like what I like about it. Yeah, Amazon is great. There's a reason it's, the biggest marketplace in the world. Hey, look, I just started posting my FBA beginner tips on my new account because of you. Congratulations, brother. I love it. I would definitely, one piece of advice is like, definitely give tips that you have based on what you've learned. People want to hear your experience more. I think that that's going to be really good for you. Talk about the ups, talk about the downs, talk about what you're going through. What up, John? I got more sales recently and wonder if I should already reorder if it's just luck. Well, it depends on what you've done. You're getting those sales for a reason. So I would never really attribute anything to luck. 10% luck. But it comes down to like you've launched the product, you set up ads, you've gotten the reviews, you've done a lot of the work. So if you have a day where you get 10 sales, that's not luck, that's because you put in the work. You just want to see consistency. I buy the products overseas, bro, and I use Helium 10 or Data Dive. Just got to be patient, Zero. I just right when somebody leaves a comment doesn't mean that I'm instantly going to read that. I have other questions, bro. I just give tips on how to open seller account and Alibaba and stuff like that. Just beginner stuff. Nice. If I join your program, how much money do I need to put aside for inventory and the program? On the low end, 6K. On the high end, like 8K. I got 10K. What should I do with it? Well, I'm not going to ever tell anybody what they should do with their money. If you ask me, I have 10K, can I start Amazon? That would be different. But like, it depends what you want to do, man. I'm not here to convince anybody to sell on Amazon. I'm simply here to answer people's questions if they have interest in Amazon. But you should never listen to somebody ever in general what you should do with your money. Some people will say, go invest it. Some people will say, go start a business. Some people will say, go put it in a high yield saving account. So it depends. What is your ultimate goal? Do you want to start a business? Do you want an e-commerce brand? Luke, can you post more PPC vids on YT? Love watching them. 100%, bro. I have a few coming out. I can tell you guys my YT video schedule right now. These are all videos that have been recorded. So the one I just posted today, how to increase organic rank. We have an interview with a 6-figure Amazon seller. We have a interview with one of my students who's doing 40K a month on Amazon. We have the 3 phases of Amazon PPC ads. We have an interview with one of my students who is doing 10K a month. We have an interview with one of my students who's doing 7 figures selling on Amazon. How to differentiate on Amazon. The story of how I went from sleeping on my best friend's couch broke to building a 7-figure Amazon brand. And then gaps, finding gaps in the market. So pretty much the 2 PPC videos that are recorded, I just haven't posted yet, or the 3 phases of Amazon PPC, and then how to find gaps in the marketplace. Can I do it all? What does that mean? Do you make YT videos? I do. Hi, King Luke. How's it going? What up, Action? Good to see you, my friend. What are the top reasons a product won't sell? You didn't pick a good market. You didn't differentiate the product. You didn't get reviews for the product. You have a terrible PPC ad strategy. Jigsaw, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Can I do e-commerce and Amazon? So e-commerce and Amazon are the same exact thing. E-commerce stands for internet commerce. If I sell products on Amazon, I am that's not the right word. I am participating in commerce on the internet, e-commerce. Thank you, Luke, for everything you do. We are lucky for having you. I'm lucky to have all of you. I appreciate everybody for real. I promise I don't do these lives to just hear myself talk. I enjoy giving value and helping people out and answering everybody's questions. Do you sell branded things or gated brands? I sell my own brands, the baby. So I am not reselling Nike products. I am Nike. Do you do one-on-one mentoring? I have one-on-one aspects in my mentorship. Yes. That's not where it's like, hey, Luke, I'm going to call you anytime I want, but you can message me anytime you want. And there's certain things like, I have a buddy who did, he got out of it because he despised it. Who literally like would take on like direct one-on-one clients, and then just like, he didn't have videos or anything. He would just answer their questions. They could call him whenever. He's like, bro, it gives me anxiety. I can't do this. And I was like, yeah, bro, you can't do that, because the people who want you to walk you or hold their hand through how to create a listing, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean learning how to create a listing. That means like, hey, bro, I'm going to get on a Zoom call with you on how to create a listing. Like, wait, why can't I just create a video one time and then everybody watch that video on how to create a listing? And then the more in-depth stuff, or like proprietary questions like, Luke, I did XYZ for my campaigns. What should I do? Like, that's different. But to get on a call or to message somebody, here's how to create an Amazon account. Here's how to create a listing. Like that's where like curriculum comes in. So yeah, there are one-on-one aspects, but it's not like this done for you hand holding. But I have a few students in here, and I think that they can testify to how they have direct access to me. What's the lowest I can start with? 5K? I would say the lowest is 3K. Hey Luke, do words in our images need to be keywords that rank in your like infographics and stuff? No, that doesn't index. Should I sell bathroom organizer for my second product? Probably not. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday, my friend. How long does it take to get to the top of the food chain? I don't know if when I answer this question, it like bothers people the way that I answer it, but I just try to be as real as possible. Should you strive to be one of the best sellers in a product that you sell? Yes, that is part of the fundamentals of business. But why worry about how long it takes to become a top seller without starting a business? It's like maybe a silly example, but like when McDonald's came out or In-N-Out came out, they just knew that they had a good product. I guess good is subjective because McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? I like McDonald's, but I don't eat it that much. They just focused on having a good product and putting it out into the world. And then now, you know, In-N-Out, one of the biggest burger chains in the West Coast, or at least California. McDonald's, literally one of the biggest fast food brands, if not the biggest in the entire world. But they didn't, the founder of McDonald's didn't say, okay, how long until I'm the biggest fast food chain? Could that have been one of his goals? Yes. But he focused on putting out the product first, putting out a good product, improving upon it. So I don't like the idea of when somebody wants to start only focusing on how long until I make $1 million, how long till I do XYZ, because I don't think that's the way to think of a business. That's thinking fast money in. Fast money in means fast money out. Creating something that's evergreen should be your ultimate goal. What made you start? Did you have anyone around you that helped you start out? Yes, I had mentors myself, my cousins. Had it not been for them, and number one, if it hadn't been for God, but it was God's plan and God's timing. Had I not had my cousins along my journey, I wouldn't have been in the position that I am today. Because I don't think the market numbers on that product are good, love. Do you also teach about Shopify? I talk about it here and there, yeah, but it's not something that I try not to talk about. Okay, brother, I appreciate the comments, but no soliciting in my live, please. I try not to make content about every single e-commerce thing that I do, because we sell on Walmart, we sell on Shopify, we sell on TikTok Shop, but it doesn't make sense to be like teach everybody all of these things on my page, because then people get like information overload, and then they see all this stuff and then they'll never go and start one. So Amazon's the bread and butter, so I talk about Amazon. How do I start, bro? Step 1, create an Amazon seller account. Step 2, get a product research software. Find a product to sell, my friend. Can you sell your business and start another? Yes. How to contact you, please? I filled out the form, but no one contacted me back. Nikhil, we talked about this on another live, bro. You didn't qualify for the main mentorship. So you had filled out an application, and I DM'd you about this as well, brother. You responded and said okay, I believe. But yeah, you didn't qualify for the main mentorship, so nobody is gonna contact you. You got sent over to a page where you were gonna be able to get my book. Again, bro, go through our messages, Nikhil. I messaged you on TikTok about it, bro. You responded to that message, said okay. I don't tell people how they can. You go fill out the application, everybody, and if you qualify, you'll be prompted to book a call with my team. I don't talk about how you qualify because then there's going to be people who essentially are just trying to circumvent the system. They get on a call with the team and then they never qualified for the program too. Yeah, we actually deny like 90% of people who fill out the applications, you guys. Does your mentorship for one-on-one or group call lifetime access if I joined? Yes, Tina, it's lifetime access. Do, 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 do. An accessory for my product has a logo on it. Should I include the logo on my listing? It really just depends, honestly. Like if you're taking a picture of your product, then you can, but I don't think that it's like a make or break, but you can definitely, it's all about testing. Just shipped an ASIN that got flagged for school supplies and now have to submit compliance documents. Nice. Well, not nice, but Amazon Amazon is going to tell you exactly what you need to submit for that. What up, DFS? How you doing? For a second, I forgot, because you said it's me again. I forgot who this was, but now I remember. You're the mystery person on the live. Good to see you. Keep a spot for me. I got you. Why so strict? For a few different reasons. Like, number one is like if somebody doesn't have the means to start Amazon, I'm not going to let them join the program. Like, let's say somebody didn't have the money for the program, but they were like, yeah, but I can take out a loan. No, disqualification. I don't want you to take out a loan. I don't want you to put this on credit. You have to be able to have the cash flow to actually join because I don't ever recommend somebody to take out a loan. I'm not that kind of person. I'd rather you not join the program, learn from my content, than put yourself in a weird financial position to join the program, number one. Number two, I don't want somebody who can join the program but then can't go launch a product on Amazon. We've made exceptions for this because if someone's like, hey man, I'm just saving up, I'll have be able to launch a product comfortably in X amount of time and I want to learn before, awesome, that's cool. But if somebody's going to sit, because I give time to my students, you guys, it's a full mentorship, having direct access to me. So if somebody's going to just sit and ask me 30,000 questions, which I don't mind, I love when my students ask me questions, but then you're never going to go launch a product on Amazon, that's kind of a waste of both of our times. And I would rather just not take your money for the program. And then also because I want students who are going to put in the effort. So there's a few disqualifying questions in the thing. So I think that that's going to be, sorry, I was reading something else, but there's a few disqualifying questions. I want people who are going to be hustlers. You know what I mean? I don't want somebody who's just going to keep kicking the can down the road. The chat deleted. I mean, I received an email that someone will contact me, but no one. You should not have received an email about that, brother. The only, like I said, if you don't qualify for the main mentorship, you're going to be prompted to book, or not to book. You're going to be prompted to our book funnel. The book funnel is where you can go. You know, okay, you don't necessarily qualify for the program, but I have like a $20 or $30 book that I recently just wrote this year and put out there, that you can get and learn some of my strategies and stuff. No, I do private label, Noah. Solo, thank you for the follow. What percentage of people succeed in private label on average, would you say? I mean, there's softwares that put out this data for sure, and it's a way higher percentage than you would think. But I think it ultimately comes down to where you get the information, right? Like if you take somebody, and I won't say their name, but if you take somebody's advice who's telling you, you can launch any product because the software tells you high demand, low competition, you don't have to run Amazon ads, you don't have to differentiate, those people probably have like a 99% chance of failure. But then if you use a good product criteria and then you have a good differentiator, you have a good launch strategy, and you understand how the game actually works, I think you're talking like upwards of 50% or close to 50% of those people. How do you validate a product idea before investing money into it? Number one, checking the market numbers. Two, doing a split test through something like PigFu. If someone were to join, how many coaches would they have access to? At the moment, at this current day, you have access to me, you have access to Jimmy. By the second week of November, I already know who the third coach is, but they're traveling right now. You will have access to 3 coaches. And the community. Like I said, the community is super cool, man. Without mentorship, it really depends on where you're getting the information. If you're watching someone like my content, and I'm not trying to be arrogant, I'm just saying somebody who gives good information. There's other people out there as well. But somebody like my content versus somebody like, I'm not going to mention their name because I'm not trying to be negative, but somebody, like I said, who's just giving terrible advice, it's such a big gap. I got the same Lego plush set in Infinity Gauntlet. Nice, Ethan. I just found out, Ethan, that they actually just discontinued the Infinity Gauntlet, so they're not going to be manufacturing it anymore, brother. That's a good mentor right there. I appreciate you, Tina. I try to be the best for my students. I'm really interested in your PPC masterclass. Yeah, dude, for sure. It's literally one of the best. More millionaires. Thank you for the follow. Rose, how you doing? What's your strategy reinvesting profits versus paying yourself? It depends. Are you talking about because I'm a 7-figure seller, I have the sustainability and the cash flow to be able to pay myself. Or are you talking about a beginner who would do this solo? Because they would be 2 different answers. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that FP, honestly. I'm just kind of over the negativity of the internet. I'm going back to me being in my own lane, guys. And any other creator, anybody else, they don't matter. I'm here to literally just answer everybody's question about Amazon. Every other creator, every other thing on the internet is just, I'm making it irrelevant to me. Even the comments or the hate comments or whatever, it's irrelevant. There's people in here who want to learn about Amazon, so those are the only people that we're going to address. For a beginner. So in the beginning, expect to reinvest back into the business for 6 to 12 months and not pay yourself anything to build this up. Can you explain more about the taxes on China seller on Amazon? Yes. So some Chinese manufacturers who sell on Amazon, which we all know that there's a lot of them, they would play by different rules. Now, when I sell as a U.S. citizen, as a U.S. seller, right? Even if I don't report my income that I made on Amazon to the IRS, which which is illegal, Amazon's going to report it. And so they never did that with Chinese manufacturers and sellers. Like there would be Chinese sellers who would sell on Amazon, but Amazon wasn't sending their revenues, their numbers, their identities to Chinese authorities. Now, starting October 31st, 2025, that has changed. They are going to be reporting Chinese manufacturers who sell on Amazon to Chinese authorities. And so what this means is that maybe people were saving money allegedly on taxes. Maybe people, that's one of the ways that there was a lot of price wars and stuff like that. So now they have nowhere to hide. What they make on Amazon is now going to be reported back to China. Richie, you kind of missed it, brother. I literally just said all of that stuff is, it doesn't even, what does it do for me to respond, bro? Go find me one of my students who says that I've scammed them and I'll give you $1,000. So it's like some random dude on the internet who knows nothing about Amazon can say all he wants. God bless him. Go find me one student who says that I've scammed them. Man, that was good news. Yeah, it's super sweet. Like I said, Richie, it makes no... Well, I almost feel like it doesn't even make sense to acknowledge this. Yeah, thank you, Captain. You guys can respond to that. I'm just... If I'm walking down the street and somebody's like, you make no money, does that mean that the money that's in my bank account just disappears because some random person who knows nothing about my life and knows nothing about my businesses says that I don't make money? You know what I'm saying? It's a mentorship. No, bro, it's all good, Richie. I know I skipped questions. I'm gonna go back. It's all good, but it just doesn't do anything for me. I already know that it's been going on. So yeah. It's not a new thing that somebody who has a program gets called a scammer, guys. I've been doing social media I've had the mentorship since 2023. And there has not been a week that went by that somebody didn't say that I was a scammer. Meanwhile, like I said, find me a student who's actually enrolled in my program who says that I'm a scammer, and I'll give you $1,000. How do you use Amazon PPC ads effectively without overspending? Having a good conversion rate. That's going to be the name of the game, Solo. Talking about Amazon, brother. Any state recommendations to open an LLC? Talk to a CPA about that, brother. Technically, you have to own your LLC in the state that you reside in, or that you're operating business out of. No, Jay, it's a mentorship. It's different, bro. Do you have the link to the report? I made a post about it, Wadani, but if you just look up online, literally just look up online, finding the headline. Amazon begins quarterly tax reporting to Chinese authorities for cross-border sellers. You'll be able to find articles on it. I have the same Lego Porsche. Let's go. That's awesome. People assume everyone is like Tom Cruise. Man, I'm not even going to speak on that. I don't know the guy. I don't know what he's about. I don't watch people's content. Like, guys, if I'm watching TikToks, it's literally just brain rot content if I'm keeping it 100 with you. I don't watch other creators. I'm in my lane. Everything else, What does it have to do with me? No, Richie follows me. I don't think Richie was saying anything malicious, you guys. He just wanted my thoughts. Would you ever be down to do a live with him? Yes and no. It would. Guys, I watched the whole recording of him in Ecom is Alive. Like what? I already know how it would go down. Oh, you sell on Amazon? Yes. Why don't you share your brand name? You should be proud of what you built. Well, no, bro. There's zero net benefit for me to ever share a brand that I sell. Nah, man, you just got to be proud of what you built. It'd just be a repeat. The dude said the same thing with Ecom on Live. Literally, I almost want to go back and count how many times he said it. Ecom would explain why he doesn't share his products, and then literally right after, he's like, but why don't you just share your products? It's like, bro, I just explained it to you. He's like, I can show you my products off of this live, because they had like 2,000 people in the live or something like that. So it's like, I can tell you my products off live, but he's like, no, but you should just be proud of what you did. That part I agree with, Captain. I do agree with that. He was too calm about it, which I know why. Like Ecom doesn't get like emotional about stuff, but is that lifetime sales or just the time frame? This is 1 year time frame. Yeah, it's on YT FBA. You thought you will achieve this? I thought I will achieve what? What do you mean? Yeah, Richie, like I said, brother, I didn't think you were leaving a malicious comment, brother. That's why I responded to you. We're all good, bro. We're all good. Would you recommend to put a thank you card with your personal email for customers if they have issues? Technically, that's against Amazon's terms of service. Sorry, y'all, I skipped a few. I'm going back to them. Hello, had 5 sales yesterday with week-old product and now have 31 clicks, no sales today. Could just be a bad day. Don't look at such a small time frame. You're looking at yesterday and you're looking at today. How much data do you have? Because like 2 things. A, if you only have 2 days of data, that's not enough. And number 2, when in doubt, zoom out. Like sometimes I'll have like a bad day and you look at a campaign and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. But then when you zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out, you see and you're like, oh, this is actually not a bad campaign. Bro, got FBA, Richie, like trust me, you guys are good. I'm not tripping. I take no offense from it or anything like that. So keep that in mind. So you produce new things or you just customize the packaging of them. I customize the product. I differentiate the product. So I'm adding value into the market that I'm launching in, right? But I'm not an inventor. I'm not reinventing products. I'm in the same boat. My intention, I answered that. Also, bro, the advice you gave me works. I shouldn't have disputed on Alibaba because of customs. I lost. I figured. Yeah, it's all good, man. And here's the thing about making quote unquote mistakes in business. Don't chalk it up to a loss. Chalk it up to a lesson. Like I've made so many mistakes and losses and all of these things with my products, but it's helped me become the entrepreneur that I am today. So it's not about like beating yourself up about it. Like, bro, I lost 12K to a manufacturer one time because I did things improperly. It sucked, but I learned from it. And now it helps me along my journey. Can you please touch on the strategy for price negotiation before, after getting samples? Both. You're gonna get quotes from like 10 to 20 manufacturers if you don't have a sourcing agent. You're gonna take the lowest quote and you're just gonna keep rinsing and repeating and using that as leverage to negotiate with the other suppliers. What up, Net? Good to see you, brother. You do private label? Yes. Do you think tariffs are going to come back on the 1st, or what are your thoughts? I think the tariffs are the boogeyman. They can come back, they can not come back. It's not going to affect me in the way that people think. Also, because I'm not political like this, you guys, trust me, but take your political beliefs out of it. Go read The Art of the Deal, and it'll give you kind of some insight on like the wacky negotiation tips and stuff. I was scammed. Some company said, give us 20K and we manage everything. After 1 month, account suspended. Never. Listen, I've heard of good programs out there. I have never, in the 7 years that I've been selling on Amazon, ever seen one done for you program that was actually legit. Not one. Should I stock the product? What product? It's 3K. We also have a product selection option where, based on the criteria that I use and teach, I will select your product for you. What are the types of products to stay away from if you could give your top 5? Electronic products, super high return rate, a lot of issues. Clothing and shoes, highest return rates on Amazon. You don't want to deal with that. Fragile items, high return rate on Amazon. Seasonal products, I want a product that is going to make me money year round, not just for one season. Jewelry, just because I think jewelry is not a good category to get into. Can we finance the 3K? I'll give it to you on a split payment, but it's not like a 3K paid over 12 months kind of thing. Do you sell a course? I have a mentorship. Very different, bro. If I want to customize a product, should I buy mock how it works? Wait, what? Dang, I paid $4,800 for my mentorship. I mean, hopefully you're getting value from it. You do wholesale or private label? Private label. How to work with you? I have a seller account, but I don't know where to start. AMZ Masterclass in the TikTok bio, or ask questions in my lives. I go lives every day. Or go check out my content. Does the mentorship help us build a store? It helps you with everything A to Z on Amazon. Off topic, bro. AP1, that looks clean. Yes, sir. I wear it casually, y'all. Y'all will not see me flex stuff like that on the internet. I think that's a big thing for me. Like, I'm not trying to sell anybody the lifestyle. I just teach Amazon. My content is, for somebody who's not interested in Amazon, my content's probably really boring because they're like, what's this guy only talks about Amazon? But that's why I started doing content. How do you do private if everybody is selling the same thing you find on Helium? Couldn't you argue the same thing about the about like wholesale or arbitrage? And it's about differentiating the product. Freed, I hope I said that right. But it's about differentiating, adding value. My favorite example to use from this is, like, think of Scrub Daddy. I would never launch a sponge, but the brand Scrub Daddy. They sell a sponge. Everybody, oh, look at all the sponge companies. But they made their product so undeniably better that they've been able to build a $300+ million brand. Now, there's other factors into that. They went on Shark Tank, they got an investment, all of this stuff. But still, they made the product better. So good, in fact, that I don't even really be washing dishes like that. And I remember the first time I had bought my own, I'm sitting there telling everybody, bro, you got to get a scrub. I was selling their product for them just because of how much I thought it was good. I like your mindset. I wish I went with you instead. I appreciate that, John. I get that a lot, honestly. I do get that a lot. I've even had a lot of people join other programs first and then come over to the AMZ Masterclass. I'm not the biggest creator, so maybe some people didn't find me first or whatever, and they end up coming over here. Luke owns 365 black t-shirts. Funny enough about that, Haley, it's not that many, but you are so correct. Literally, go watch every one of my YT videos. Look at the material. This exact shirt. I own so many of these. It takes so much thought out of my day. Shorts, black t-shirt, chain, watch, bracelets, good to go. I don't got to think about what I'm wearing for the day. I'm a very simple man. So I literally own a whole closet and drawers full of these t-shirts. I found a t-shirt that I liked. I literally bought the website's entire stock of these t-shirts. Like after I put my order in, out of stock. So yeah, you are not incorrect about that one. Steve Jobs type shit. Yeah. Steve Jobs is the GOAT. All right, really quickly, because somebody was asking about the program right above. So, like I said, I do these lives. I post so much content, y'all. My content's all about Amazon. But in the TikTok bio, AMZ Masterclass, you guys can see everything that's included. Oh, wait, I skipped a piece. Where'd it go? Here it is. Whoopsies. Why do I not know my own site? So if it was just a course, you guys, this is what it would be. When it says what you will get, this is all it would be. Here's some video guides. Good luck, figure it out. But you have access to me, our private group, weekly group coaching calls, one-on-one call with me, the freight forwarder that we created, product selection, where I'll select your product for you, listing creation service, PPC Masterclass, which is the most in-depth guide on PPC ads, product inspection service, bookkeeping service, an Amazon AI software that I created, done for you sourcing, trademark filing service that we created in-house. And all of that is lifetime access. And if you guys wanted to apply, remember, we do deny like 90% of people who apply. You would click, yes, I want to apply now. You would go through this application right here. It's very simple. Fill it out properly because you're going to be speaking with my onboarding coach, right? I do private label, Rafiq. But yeah, you'd be speaking with my onboarding coach. So don't fill it out like I'm doing right now, because we actually look at these answers before you get on the call. I'm going to hide this next part so I don't give away my phone number and email to all of you. And then if you qualify for the program, there's a few reasons. Essentially, like to keep it simple, and you'll know that you don't qualify, and I'll even show you guys what happens when you don't qualify. Chelsea, I think you'll be good, and I'll show you guys in a sec. But if you do qualify, you'll be taken to this page here. Remember, this isn't a coaching call. This is an onboarding call. You'll be able to select a date and time and then select a date that works for you. So let me show you guys this real quick. So if we go through, right, that's if you, yes, you can apply to join again, Alex. Alex, always up in the lives, always supporting. He's actually a student. So I'll show you guys this right here. We'll go through it again. This is what happens when you don't qualify. Hide this so you don't see my phone number and email. So look, I hit the disqualifying question, and it talks about our main mentorship requires at least this much, but if you're not quite ready, we created a step-by-step book. And so if it's like, yes, I want more information on this, submit. And then you'll be taken to the book page where you can check out my book, How Selling on Amazon Changed My Life. And and it's actually so. Ooh, hide that part. Don't want to show you my last digits of my Amex. It's actually on sale right now. It's usually 30, but it's $19.99 at the moment. All right. So on that note, everybody, it was a great live. I appreciate all of you. Make sure to go show some love to my last few videos. Make sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass if you're interested. Once we get started, generally, how long do you think it takes to go full-time into selling? It'll take you like 3 to 4 months to actually get started. And you want to reinvest into the business for like 6 to 12 months to create the cash, assuming you have a successful brand, to create the cash flow, to be able to sustain itself and pay yourself. Steph, thank you for the follow. Like I said, I appreciate all of you. It was a long live. It was a great live. Make sure to turn live notifications on so that you guys can tap in anytime I do go on live. God bless you. Have a great Monday. Make it a productive week, ladies and gentlemen.